Welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Dina DeLisa Gonzer.
And I'm Mike Favetta. Thanks for joining us today. It's called the New Jersey Green Amendment, and it would add constitutional environmental rights to the state's constitution's Bill of Rights.
After being left untouched since 2018, it was reintroduced in 2024 by Senators Linda Greenstein and Andrew Zwicker. Here now to tell us more about this amendment is Senator Andrew Zwicker. Welcome to the show, Senator.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you, Mike, for having me. Really happy to talk about this.
So, what specifically would this amendment mean for the people of New Jersey?
In the end, this is an amendment to give power to the people of New Jersey when it comes to environmental justice, when it comes to the ability to make sure that no matter where you live in New Jersey, no matter your zip code, that you have the right to clean air, clean water, clean land, and a healthy climate. And I'm using that word right intentionally now, right? Because it is not a privilege, it is a right. And so by writing it into the Constitution as a Bill of Rights, as we have freedom of speech, as we have so many other freedoms that we already take for granted, shouldn't we have the right for clean air and a healthy environment? That's the Green Amendment, and that's what we're working on right now.
Senator, both the city of Newark and Delaware River Keepers have been involved in pushing this legislation forward. What has their role and impact been?
Yeah, so let me tackle those in order. So first of all, Newark, as our largest city and one of the most important cities to us culturally and in so many different ways economically, is also a city that has struggled with lead in its water pipes. And Mayor Baraka has been leading that effort to make sure that we can remove the lead. Concerns about asthma rates in the city from diesel buses and particulate matter. And so when you look at Newark and you look at the struggles that Newark has to go through from an environmental perspective, you know that this is, in a sense, a laboratory for what we're seeing around the state. And so the Green Amendment empowers not just Newark, empowers not just other cities, but empowers towns and rural communities and farms across the state. We just see it because of the struggles and the challenge in front of Newark right now. We see it every single day. In terms of the Delaware River Keeper, her name is Maya von Rossmann, and she is the leader nationally of the Green Amendment movement. It is because of her that we saw New York just recently pass their own Green Amendment, that states around the country, not just New Jersey, are also working on passing a Green Amendment. She saw what had happened in Pennsylvania decades ago and knew that we could spread this and get this movement going nationally, and she's the driving force. So not only is she the head of the Green Amendment movement, but she also has this wonderful title of being the head of an organization responsible for protecting the Delaware River as the Delaware River Keeper.
So if passed, this would make New Jersey not only the fourth state nationwide to secure Green Amendment protections, but it could also be the first state in the nation to explicitly require their government to ensure protections for the climate. So why is that in particular so important?
I'm really glad you asked that, Dina, because we are, as you are talking about now, not just trying to copy what other states have done, but move even further. And so climate, we all know this, right? The Earth is warming every single year. Every month is the warmest year on record, it seems. Extreme weather events, storms of the century, are happening more and more frequently. Adding climate as a key component of what a Green Amendment is considering is really acknowledging where we are in 2024. There's another piece I also want to add to that, which not every state has included, is that we also are including the word generational. Because when we talk about climate, we're talking about not just today, we're talking about tomorrow. When we talk about generational, we're talking about not just for me or for you, but for our children and for our grandchildren and for their children and grandchildren. And so all of this now under a Green Amendment has to be considered when we are evaluating the impact of any project on the local communities that will be impacted by whatever it is that might be occurring.
Senator, do you think this bill will help the rapid decarbonization efforts of New Jersey get underway more easily? For instance, having greener public transport, or maybe another stab at the wind farms that failed, off the coast. What do you say to that?
I think that this is a unique extra tool in the toolbox. I don't want to portray this as we pass a green amendment and now all of a sudden everything is fixed and all of our challenges are overcome. No, but what this is doing is saying we're going to give the power, or at least a piece of the power, to the people of New Jersey. And so by doing that, it means that we can add to what we already do right now, which is how do people, lawmakers like me, legislate? How do regulators regulate? But now it is saying, hey, if you are an individual who is impacted negatively, then there's another tool to push us forward. And what we're seeing, to get to what you're talking about, is when we empower people like that, there is a back and forth with regulators or lawmakers to try to now accelerate forward. So I'm excited by it. It's not going to solve everything, but it's a really important piece of this entire picture.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned is so important, specifically regarding that connection between climate and public health. You'll even see this weekend, we recorded a weather segment about how pollen seasons and allergy seasons are getting longer, with the pollen becoming stronger, even when people try to enjoy, a public festival like in Branch Brook Park with the cherry blossoms. So, Senator, if you would like to get involved, what should people do and to whom should they contact?
So the best way to do this is quickly Google New Jersey Green Amendment. We have a couple of different websites that will find. It's the first link right there. That's number one. And from there, you'll be contacted on what you might be able to do. Number two, once you have that information, reach out to your local representatives at the state level, the county level, and the municipal level. All levels of government need to be involved in this. And this is for the people. And so hearing from the people is a key piece of this, because we have some more work to do to get this in front of folks for a November election. Because remember, anytime you change the Constitution, that is a vote of the people. And so the more people we hear from, the more momentum there is. Google New Jersey Green Amendment, it's the first link, and off you go. And please, we need everybody involved.
Senator Andrew Zwicker, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dina. I really appreciate a few minutes to talk about this.
Dina, very impressive stuff. And I was glad that he pointed that out, that this is something that the people of New Jersey have to vote on in order for it to pass.
Yes, I felt like he was very emphatic about wanting this to have support of not just the Senate, but of the people of New Jersey, because we should take it seriously too. It's our air that we're breathing. It's the water that we're consuming. So these issues should matter.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, especially I think when we have those really hot days in the summertime, or those poor air quality days from, say, wildfires nearby, especially in South Jersey and the Pine Barrens. That's when I think it relates close to home that, hey, this is something that's related to climate, and this is the bill that's trying to help better that situation.
For sure. And in keeping up with all things climate control, we're going to have your weather reports throughout the show this morning. And you're watching the NJ Morning Show. Catch us daily online on ONNJ.com from 9 until noon.